Holy crap, everybody! We're cooking beef Wellington tonight. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Master Chefs with me, Michael Lang. This is the show where I take a recipe from last week's episode of Masterchef.
Tonight, the top 12 are faced with replicating Gordon Ramsay's greatest hits.
This is going to be impossible.
And recreate it here in my kitchen with whatever I have in my kitchen. So sorry for missing out last week's episode. It was the 4th of July, and to be honest, I just really did not want to bake a cake. This week we are making one of the most technical dishes I've ever tried to make in this kitchen, and that would be Gordon Ramsay's beef Wellington.
The idea is literally to slice, see that nice puff pastry,
Yeah, look at that crumble.
yeah, and then that.
Here's hoping I don't f it up. Here are all the ingredients that we're going to be using to make the beef Wellington. Is some pastry dough, prosciutto, mushrooms, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, and of course some filet mignon. Full recipe is going to be down in the descriptions below. Alrighty, first thing is first, we're going to go ahead and prep the mushrooms. Just go ahead and chop everything up into small little bite-sized pieces. Don't forget to season with some salt and pepper. The food processor is going to do most of the work for you. It's going to essentially puree the crap out of this stuff. So now that everything is nice and blitzed, the mushrooms should look something like that. Basically just looks kind of like a really chunky pudding, I guess. You're not going to add anything to it because, like I said, this is filled with water, so it's going to act as your oil essentially, and you're trying to cook everything out, so you don't want to add any liquids. Everything should already be seasoned. All you're really going to do is just toss this in the pan and then just let everything cook away. Nice and dark you want it, and basically, like I said, just cook it until there's no more liquids left in there and it's a nice dry paste. Your end product should look like this. As you can see, it reduced down quite a bit, nice and dry, and kind of looks like ground beef. Once it's done, just get it onto a plate, let it cool completely. And while that's cooling, we're gonna start searing up our steaks. So, first thing is first, don't forget to season your meat. Pretty simple seasoning, salt and pepper. Season both sides. And if you're wondering what that spitting sound is, they're basically playing a game of Sorry over there.
Yeah, that's right. Make it sound like...
1, 2. Toss this right on top of there. Be careful, it's hot. Once again, you're just looking to sear, so you want to flip it pretty quick, like within a minute's time. Once you're done searing the meat, you're going to toss it in the pan, and then you're going to rub some Dijon mustard over it as quickly as possible. You want it to get it on there while it's still piping hot. Beef, nice and marinated with a bunch of with a bunch of mustard. So after you do that, let it cool, toss in the fridge, 15 minutes, cool it down, and then you get to wrapping. We'll get to that in 15 minutes. We have our meat nice and chilled, and we have all our other pieces together, so we're going to now do the first part of the wrapping. Go ahead and lay out some saran wrap because it's going to help a lot with the wrapping process. Grab some prosciutto, and then you're going to lay it out in the lengthwise to your actual meat, but obviously longer because you're just going to wrap it up like a little burrito. Once you have this laid out, go ahead and add your mushroom to it. So you're just going to add this on, basically lay it out as thin as possible. You're going to leave an inch all around everything. Alright, now that you've laid everything down with the stuff and the mushrooms, what you're going to do is toss the meat right on top, start wrapping around. Make sure you wrap it as tightly as humanly possible because you don't want this leaking. You're going to use the saran wrap to help you do the wrapping. If you ever wrapped sushi, the process is kind of similar. If you never have, good luck. But just take the saran wrap, flip it all the way around, let it go down, and then squeeze, tuck everything in, and just keep on rolling. To seal the deal, grab the ends, and like a little piece of candy, I'm just going to twist the ends nice and tight.
Once you're done with that wrap, let that set in the fridge for at least 15 minutes so that everything gets nice and stiff before you start with the pastry dough. Once that's ready, go ahead and roll out your pastry dough as thin as possible. Place your meat right there down in the middle. Add your egg wash onto all corners of the wrap. Once that's done, season the dough itself with some salt and pepper. And then once again, you're just going to use the saran wrap to help you wrap around the fillet, spinning as tightly as possible, and then also doing the same candy and wrapping to keep it all nice together. Let it sit in the fridge for another 15 minutes so everything gets nice, set, and firm, and then you're ready to bake. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees and cook for 15 minutes.
There you go. Real quick, real simple. People are already enjoying, so thank you, Masterchef, for always inspiring me to make new things. Catch me every Sunday or every Monday here recreating stuff on the show. This was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be, and my cook times were way off, but hopefully you guys get to enjoy and recreate this yourself. Tonight's a special episode because we're actually going to be creating one of the 3 dishes that...
4 things in this world that I actually am devoted to and passionate about.